Hey guys, Kevorkiy from MajorLeagueCrypto.com, and today I'll be going over this week's news. First off, we got social media giant Snap confirms its banned ICO ads. Snapchat just became the latest social media giant to ban ads for initial coin offerings ICOs. Cheddar reported Monday that parent firm Snap Inc. has been quietly implementing the policy since February, restricting only advertisements for crypto token sales while allowing those related to cryptocurrency more generally. When asked by CoinDesk, a company representative confirmed that Snapchat is indeed prohibiting ICO ads, but did not comment on whether it plans to expand the ban to other crypto activities. So far, though, the firm's stance is relatively lenient compared to other social media giants. In January, Facebook banned most ads and promoted related to cryptocurrency, including grassroots technologies like Bitcoin. Meanwhile, Google announced last week from June it will also ban cryptocurrency ads, including a subsidiary platform such as YouTube. So what's happening right now is that the traditional media outlets, in terms of traditional online media outlets and social media outlets, are going more and more anti-cryptocurrency. ICOs is obviously the first thing that they want to hit because it's the most controversial out of all cryptocurrency related blockchains or programs or even endeavors and activities. But let's just see what's going on with Twitter. And Twitter said Twitter will ban cryptocurrency ads in 2 weeks, says report. On March 19th, it said that following the footsteps of Facebook and Google, Twitter's reportedly planning a ban on advertisements related to cryptocurrencies. Sky News reported Sunday that the US-based social networking giant is looking to roll out a policy in the next 2 weeks that will block ads associated with cryptocurrency wallets, exchanges, and initial coin offerings with limited exceptions. So with limited exceptions, I mean like stuff like Binance, and generally just more well-known websites. So Binance, Bitrex, I see stuff like that still being on there, but more for like ICOs are all around the planet, depending on where they want to push their ad revenue. I mean, where they want to push the ad revenue into and which demographic. You're not going to be seeing a lot of these ICOs anymore. At least they're being more specific, saying that they're okay. It's going to be cryptocurrency wallets, exchanges, and initial coin offerings. But what's really weird that I saw on CoinDesk too is that Bitcoin will be world's single currency, says Twitter CEO. So you're getting a lot of negative and positive praises by these tech giants. Jack Dorsey, chief executive of Twitter and payment company Square, has spoken of his strong belief in the future potential of Bitcoin. In an interview with The Times published Wednesday, Dorsey himself, a noted Bitcoin investor, said he believes the cryptocurrency will take over the US dollar's dominant place in the world finance and become the primary global currency for payments, suggesting the shift could happen in 10 years or perhaps less, the entrepreneur said. The world will have a single currency. The internet will have a single currency. I personally believe that it will be Bitcoin. You see, I don't agree with that, because if he's truly saying how cryptocurrency is the future, there's no way that one cryptocurrency can encapsulate every use case and every token, unless there's a crazy thing that there's like blockchain mergers and just weird stuff like that. But we're still very far away from that. But Bitcoin definitely not going to be the one world currency. It's not efficient enough. And maybe if it does become it, it's not going to be the Bitcoin we know today. It might be a different fork in the future. But still, it's very interesting to see. Now, switching things to more of a global scale, G20 calls for crypto regulation recommendations by July, which is not that far away. The world's economic leaders have set a July deadline for the first step toward a unified regulation of cryptocurrency. Speaking Tuesday after a G20 meeting of finance ministers in Buenos Aires, Argentina Central Bank Chair Federico Sturzenegger said that the member nations present agreed the cryptocurrencies needed to be examined, but that more information was needed before any regulations could be proposed. However, during the press conference, he noted that the members had a firm deadline in July for recommendations, saying, "In July, we have to offer very concrete, very specific recommendations on what do we regulate, but what is the data we need." Not every nation is on board with this plan. On Monday, Brazil's central bank president, I don't know how to pronounce that, said cryptocurrencies will not be regulated in this country, according to news service El Cronista. The outlets further reported that Brazil would not necessarily be following the regulations outlined by the G20 on cryptocurrencies or other issues. Now, this is really funny that saying has to be by July because we all know what's going live July 1st, and that is the Russian laws on cryptocurrencies that Putin outlined in his speech. And here we could see that Russian government resolves disagreement on draft crypto law. The Russian Federation is inching toward or closing to deciding on a law covering initial coin offerings, ICOs, and trading of crypto tokens within the country. According to a report by Russian news agency RIA on Monday, Russian Deputy Finance Minister Alexei Moisev said that jurisdictional disagreement between the Bank of Russia and the Finance Ministry over the content of a draft law to govern cryptocurrency-related activities in the country has been resolved. As previously reported, the Finance Ministry has filed a draft that would impose a threshold for ICO activities in Russia as an effort to allow token sales under a regulated format. So right now you could see like the West with the G20, which the West has most of the pull in that, kind of scrambling to get something together by July, which in reality, when people get together, you can't just create something out of the blue like that in such a quick period of time because July is not too far away. While mostly the Russian approach has been more calculated, and they're obviously from this they're resolving disagreements for a crypto law. It seems that that the G20 is only trying to do that to catch up to the other players that are trying to get into this crypto economy. And once again, if we switch over to the West again, Trump orders sanctions against Venezuela's crypto. Very big news. Donald Trump has signed an executive order imposing new sanctions against Venezuela for its controversial petro cryptocurrency. Now, with this, sorry about that. Okay. So, with this, it's pretty interesting because what else has there been sanctions for? It's been Russia. But Russia's been trying to circumvent that with working with China on the One Belt, One Road, the AIIB, and all of that. And they're trying to use cryptocurrency as a way to circumvent the West and create a new financial system that's like parallel to our current system now. And with this, Trump is throwing something that doesn't have that much pull anymore, because even though sanctions might hurt in the short term, like America's sanctions might not have as much credence in the future as more world players shift east. And I'm not saying that the Venezuelan cryptocurrency is a fraud. Yes, is it kind of suspect? Sure. Maduro, it doesn't have the best track record, but at this point, their people are starving. They're eating zoo animals. Hyperinflation is not fun to live in. So at this point, I'm like, let them try it. If other world players are foolish enough to participate, then it's on them. But who is Trump to decide that other people can't participate with Venezuela in this manner? And for the final news of the day, we have SEC official says dozens of crypto investigations underway. On Thursday, Stephanie Avakian, co-director of the SEC's Enforcement Division, said the agency had dozens of investigations that relate to cryptocurrency and ICOs. According to Bloomberg BNA, during an appearance at this week's Investment Advisor Association conference in Washington, D.C., during her remarks, Avakian said that the agency is seeing a lot in the crypto space. Of course, because cryptocurrency is to the internet, is to money as the internet was to language and just people as information spreading. So they are very active. There's a lot of ways to be kind of weeded out, because as much as I'm a libertarian and I like that, the cryptos give us a more of a free space to participate in and to create new business ideas and make things more efficient, there's a lot of scams. And even though BitConnect and UiSci Tech and those Ponzi's are being shut down, these other ones are more obscure and they're not as blatant as a Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme formats. And that's all for today's news. If you guys like the content, if you guys love the content, please subscribe and go to MajorLeagueCrypto.com. I'll see you guys next week.